Hey there, this is Daryl. I got a few everyone, this is Daryl. I've got a few tips on getting started with some exercise as a new amputee. A few things that you will need to strengthen up for the overall success of using your prosthetic and getting active and getting your life back to as normal as possible. So the first thing is we want to work on is balance. Balance is key. You need to have excellent balance to progress in using your prosthetic later on. So one of the first things you want to do is just start working on balancing on your sound leg. So you want to be able to come up and stand balanced on that sound leg. So you want to just practice standing balanced on that leg with good posture, glutes squeezed, abs drawn, and you want to have your shoulders back. So by starting out, you could do it next to a wall, hold onto the wall with one hand, eventually go to one finger, and then eventually you want to be able to stand balanced on that sound leg. You also want to work on moving from a seated position to a standing position without using your hands. So you want to work on sort of use a chair, and you're almost using that chair as a way to sort of help you do a one-legged squat. So you're going to come up, stand, go back down. You want to get to the point where you can do this nice and easy. And that's going to give you incredible balance. It's going to help stabilize those muscles that help stabilize you, and it's going to help you out dramatically in the walking process. The other thing is, once you have your prosthetic, you want to get to the point where you can balance on the prosthetic. So at first, you want to find something that you can hold on to, and you're just going to bring that foot up, balance. Have your hand against a wall, a post, or something sturdy. Then you want to go to one finger until you can actually stand and balance on the prosthetic. So below knee, obviously, as a below knee amputee, you should be able to get to the point where you can balance for a couple seconds on the prosthetic. So one of the things that I do is when I'm talking to someone, or you're standing in the grocery line or whatever, I start just sort of picking that sound foot up and balancing. It's just an opportunity. Anytime you're standing in line or you're stopping, you're talking with someone, try to pick that sound leg up off the floor and balance on the prosthetic. For above knees, you're going to have a tougher time balancing on that prosthetic, but you still want to work on doing it at least holding one finger against the wall, because that's going to really help you with balance. Okay, second thing, as an amputee, you really, really want to work on is your core strength. So, most people, when they think of core, they're thinking of the washboard abs. Yes, that's part of your core, but your core is really everything except for your head and your limbs. So your core involves all of your torso, and it also involves your glutes. So your core is fundamental in carrying out pretty much everything you do. So to be the most functional, you want to really have a very strong, solid core. That core is going to stabilize your body, and it's going to help you move your body in many different planes. So one of the things that really, really works all your muscles in your core is a plank. So you want to start, even before you have your prosthetic, you can start by doing a one-legged plank. So you're going to go down in onto your elbows. You're going to push your heel back. You're going to squeeze those glutes, tighten those glutes, pull that belly button to the spine, and you want to make sure that you got your elbows right over your shoulders, right over your elbows. So you don't want to be up here like that, and you don't want to have a sag in your back. You're right up here, hold right on there, even if you can only go 10 seconds at a time. Eventually, you want to try to get up to a 60-second plank. Once again, if you can only start out with 10 seconds, do 10 seconds. Next time, try 12 seconds. Add your seconds each day you try your plank. Second basic core exercise is called a V-up. So you're going to go down. Here's your starting position. First, you're going to pull your feet up, and then you're going to raise your shoulders, reach up for the toe. You're pressing your lower back into the floor, come back down, press that lower back into the floor, and reach up. The plank is building both lower and upper core muscles. For your stabilizer side muscles, a bicycle crunch, basic bicycle crunch, excellent for building those muscles. So 2-finger touch here. You're going to bring this elbow down to the floor. You're going to pull this knee up, elbow to knee. Above knee amputees can do this as well. They're just bringing their limb up as far as possible, back and forth. And those are 3 basic core exercises you can do before you have your prosthetic, and then you continue with them after you have your prosthetic. So to start out, you're doing them without the prosthetic. Later on, you want that prosthetic on when you're doing them, because you want to add that weight of the prosthetic to the exercise, and that's going to help build that strength even further. Okay, the last thing you are working on is you want to work on your glutes and your hips. You are going to need to have very strong glute and hip muscles to walk and carry out a nice gait with the prosthetic. So the stronger you can get that glute muscle on that affected side, the better you are going to be able to move that prosthetic forward in your stance. So a couple things we want to do is we want to do glute bridges. So you want to take your, if you have a bench, a small bench, a ball, a exercise stepper will work as well. You want to put the your limb up on that bench. You can bend the other knee, bring that heel up, and you're going to go raise those your hips, squeezing those glutes nice and tight, and you're pressing your limb into that bench or that ball or whatever you're using for that height. So, as long as you are pressing that limb into that bench and clenching that glute muscle, you are working that glute. And then you can do dips. So release the squeeze, squeeze back up. Release the squeeze, squeeze back up. That's basic glute bridge. The mistake most people make in the glute bridge is they are not really working those glute muscles. So you really want to focus on just clenching those glute cheeks as tight as possible and then releasing them. Tighten them up, release them. At first, hold them up there. Try to hold for 60 seconds with them nice and tight. Then when you go to the drops, you're releasing and squeezing as you bring your hips back up. Okay, for above knee amputees, you're probably you want to do a lower bench than this, and you are still going to you're going to want to go a lower bench, and you're going to want to get closer to it so that you get your limb actually onto the bench, and you're still going up into that bridge. So basic glute bridges done right, done every day, are going to strengthen up those glutes and make you a lot more successful in your gait training later on. So that's my 3 basic things you can start working on as soon as you have doctor permission, which would be after your incisions are healed well enough. So you should be able to start these exercises as early as about 3 or 4 weeks post-surgery. The more you do work on these exercises, the more you build that balance, that core, and those glute muscles, the more successful you're going to be